Welcome everyone to Spirit Coffee Talk. Thank you so much for joining us. This episode today is actually pretty special because it is our summer send-off. So after today, we're going to be taking a break for the summer. And our hope with the episode today is to fill you with positivity, with tools to move through the summer with more ease and grace, making the most of the energies that are available. Again, the energy this year is fast. Ever since April happened, the energy is really fast. And that fast-paced energy gives us a lot of opportunity to implement change and grow and evolve and align and connect with the universe. And so we're going to talk about the energies of the summer and what you can do to make the most of it. So welcome everyone. And yeah, how are we feeling, ladies?
Good.
Good. Woo! All right.
I always feel better when the sun's out a little bit more, when it starts warming up, and I'm more of a spring summer girl.
Yeah, me too.
I can definitely say that. I'm really happy that with the energy of the sun coming out, for me, it's like things lighten up. I really am cyclical with that kind of thing. I really play into all the cycles of nature, the moon, my body, the cyclical frequencies really resonate with me. And help guide me intuitively for sure. And so without putting judgment on winter, darkness, and coldness, I am happy that I'm like surfacing out of it. Like sunshine find me. That's how I feel, at least.
Yeah. How about you, Elyse?
Yeah, I always feel I always like track it back to childhood and being in school. I always start to feel this like excited anticipatory energy. Like I'm like, oh, school's out, even though
totally
still working.
still I know it's so
school is
true.
not out for me. I will be still working. But in my mind, I'm like, it's summertime, no more work. And I just have this like, I get this like kind of giddy, childish energy around it. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm
this summer I'm taking like a 6-week road trip. Just me and my kids. Yeah. So it is a little bit like summer's out for mama.
So fun.
I did that one summer as a child with my dad, and it was just me and him, and it was one of the best memories I have of my time with him. Cool. So I'm really excited for your kiddos too.
That's amazing. Yeah, it's me, and my son is 10 and my daughter is 7, and then my youngest is 4. And then we're taking my smallest dog. Out of all my pets, I'm only taking one. And then yeah, just the 4 or 5 of us, I guess you can count Bruno, and we're tenting for 6 weeks and going to different tenting places and like doing like heightened tenting. And I'm really excited, you guys. I'm not sure that I felt like this excited about something, because it's like anticipatory as well, but also like independent. Like I kind of feel like a queen, doing this, and I'm like, yeah, mama can do this.
Yeah, I agree. I find so last summer for us, we were so busy. We were everywhere, and then did a reno in August with the timeline of having it done before school. Like it was just last summer went by so fast. I remember September hit and I was like, where did he even go? And so this year we're really relishing the opportunity to just flow with summer. We have a few things planned, but like this summer for me is about downtime and flow and connecting into nature, like Mother Gaia, bare feet, calm mornings. Like I really am looking forward to a totally different approach to summer this year. And that's also really balancing like work schedules too for me. Like I'm really trying to carve out a bigger space of sacred time in my most favorite time of the year, of the sun and the warmth. And like that's when I feel so drawn to be out in nature so much more.
Totally.
it's just more peaceful for me versus having to layer up. And I mean, I don't have it as cold as you both do, but still the layering feels like closing in, whereas summer just feels like blossoming for me.
I
So
know.
I'm doing a totally different approach this year, and I'm so looking forward to it. Like I
Yes.
just feel like there's untapped potential, or like so many stories the universe wants to
Ooh,
share or Gaia wants to share, and I have
Mhm.
space to hear them. Like I remember one time at the cabin, Lisa, when you came and we were paddleboarding, we paddleboarded out to this one kind of little cove and we just sat there. And I remember that's when the trees started really talking, right? And the
yes.
guardians of the forest
Do
came
you oh
forward
my,
and
I'll never
guardians of the
forget that.
land. Yeah, and it was
Guardians of the
just this
Land.
like we made space and they showed up and it came alive. And I remember the trees said, "We have been waiting to be able to talk to you."
Mm.
And so that, like that energy is what
Mhm.
I'm
Yes.
diving into this summer.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's my
As you
goal.
were saying that, G, I was like, what did I do last summer? And it dawned on me, this is the first summer in 3 years that I'm not moving,
Yes.
like uprooting everything.
Holy smokes, was that a year ago already, Elyse?
Yeah, we moved in August.
Oh my
And then the
gosh.
year before that, we moved in
Oh,
August.
You did, yeah. And you get to settle.
Yeah.
how does
Yeah.
that feel?
Oh, so good.
Yeah, you've
So
got a
good. Yeah, like
great
we don't
spot.
really have we have, a big adventure that we're going on before summer, traditional, July, August, summer. So then the rest of the summer is just going to really be at home.
Mhm,
And as you were saying that, Ginette, I was like, yes, that is exactly what I'm
mhm.
feeling for us. Just
Yeah.
like, yeah, rooting, it feels like.
Yeah. And so as you were saying that, spirit came through and they said, think about the timing of it. And this goes for anyone watching. If you're feeling a draw, and again, like we've talked about, there's no right or wrong. So your summer is unfolding for you. But if you're feeling a draw for this like downtime or like grounded or simplistic time, they're saying think of the timing of it and connect into the solar energy, connect into the consciousness in the light right now to recalibrate you after the massive growth from 2020 to 2024. Plus, then the fast paced energy, but whirly energy, like summer is really providing an opportunity, whether it's busy for you or not, but there are pocketed opportunities for everyone to really like upgrade or recalibrate or refill life force when you're out in the sun, when you're out in
Yes.
nature, in the warmth, if you are,
That's
northern
why I
hemisphere.
think I'm going this
Yeah.
summer, is because
Mhm.
I'm seeking
Yeah.
the trees. I need trees. I need water. Like for those of you who don't know, I live in the middle of Canada in the province of Saskatchewan, and it
Farms.
is just
Cold.
open land of freezing cold or beautiful, beautiful crops of wheat and stuff like that. If you love that kind of thing, lots of wind. Um, I don't necessarily connect with the geographical location I'm at right now. There's no mistakes for sure, but I'm seeking that connection to Gaia because when I upgrade and I speak to those, I get emotional. Oh my God, listen to me. Like the redwoods and the
Mhm.
water and the mountains.
Yeah.
So me and my kids are going on an adventure this summer. So that brutal truth, I think we're going to seek out our next location. That's what I'm guided to do with no expectations.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But I'm like, I'm letting spirit guide us. I have like all my places booked, but nothing within it is booked. So like we'll be at a spot for 6 days. Like we're not just gonna sit at a camp spot for 6. We're gonna go and we're gonna hike and we're gonna like adventure, but we're also gonna seek solace and lay on the beach. And you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And so with the intention just of connecting with spirit through the land,
Mhm.
because that land is just like my deepest, like I miss that land so much.
Mhm.
Oh, I can't believe I got emotional there, you guys.
That's okay. That's okay.
Mhm.
Like I think that's that recalibrating energy. And, I would really encourage everyone watching this to kind of tune into what is the summer for you? What is it calling you? Where is your heart aligning to be or experience? And maybe for some, it is traveling everywhere or accomplishing a lot, right? Like follow the flow that you're being guided to. But the key would be tune in to what you're guided to. Like, what is this time guiding you to experience, to be, to
Yes.
do? Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I think it's a
That was
beautiful
such a big
opportunity.
thing Spirit came through yesterday with me, was how much, and I know this might be a cliche thing, but like how much we are human beings. And right now it is so important to be in our heart space, be in our body, be in our energy, to experience that being and get out of the dimension of doing, achieving, like,
Mhm.
performing. It's like be, because the gifts that you chose to come in with and experience and connect with, you get to be with. And we
Mhm.
overlook it. It's like all these beautiful gifts that we're overlooking,
There was it Elyse? Did you send it to me? I can't remember, but there was a video I came across recently about the changing of era. And I don't know if it had to do most likely with a planetary alignment. I don't know, it was Vedic astrology or Chinese astrology. I can't remember why, but the message was uh, we're moving into a new phase of, we're moving out of producing something, being creators of a thing, and we're moving into a whole new period of being. Of,
Yes.
instead of making things, we are being and becoming.
Oh, and
And it's a
that
whole shift.
unique expression of
Yeah,
that being. Oh, doesn't that feel so good?
it does feel really good.
Yeah.
I'm
You
jealous
can
of
start
that.
to see more and more people who are like connecting with that being, where they're like, I don't know what it is. I just need to paint, or I just need to walk, or I just need to take pictures, or I just need to sing, or I
Mhm.
just need to write,
Mhm.
or, explore, or, whatever it is.
Yeah,
It's in their being to do.
go ahead, Elyse.
I was just gonna say something funny, so you go.
It's
I was gonna share
good.
my funny being thing that I
Do
want to
it.
do.
What
Do
is
it.
it?
So I have been like, and my brain is like, dude, have you met your body lately? She's struggling. But I have been like on this kick, and I'm gonna do it this summer because I've been talking about it for the last 3 summers and I haven't done it because it's been like the summer of responsibility and adulting. So maybe it's just been like building for this summer of like grounding and play. But like I want to buy rollerblades with every fiber of my being. And I used to love rollerblading when I was in my youth. Like my parents, I was like, peace. And I would just like rollerblade all over my hometown. Me and my friends would just like, I'd be gone, like just into the abyss. And I got rid of them long. I don't even know where they went, to be honest. And yeah, so I said to John, I'm like, we need to get rollerblades this year. I
You
really
have
want to
been
go
talking about this
rollerblading.
for a long time.
Yeah. And it
Yeah.
just never happened. We just kind of forget. And then I'm like, oh crap, it's, fall, time has passed, next summer. And then we just haven't done it. So I want to get some rollerblades
You
this
gotta,
year.
Summer
you
of
gotta get
rollerblades.
rollerblades.
Yeah.
We need some pictures of that. We'll
Oh God.
post it.
Oh
Yeah,
God,
from the
how I used
hospital
to
when I break
rollerblade.
my hypermobile wrists. Like, oh,
Oh my gosh, that's
all a
funny.
lesson. No.
Oh, yes. So what I was gonna say is some of the energy, so with that, like following your heart, following the pull, whether it's rollerblading or whatever it is, following those will awaken or unleash something within you. And the reason why I say this is Spirit gave me like a little intro experience to this just the other day. And so I am very good at being very busy and just taking everything on and doing everything. And that's something I keep trying to catch myself and like putting things down and be present. Or like instead of taking a quick break upstairs, now that it's sunny, I will go out into the backyard, take my shoes off, put my feet in the grass and sit, right? Listen to the birds, listen, like I will purposely do.
Oh,
The other day,
that sounds so nice.
I know, right?
We have snow.
With could listen to the snow. Um, the other day though, I found I was battling that in my mind of like, no, I should finish this. And then I'm like, no, go outside. And I started humming this song. And at first it was just like a normal song I was humming. And then it started changing from humming into singing. And the singing changed into this very tribal sound. And I was even like, wow, what is this? And I would try and stop it and refocus, and it would just come up within me again. And it got like, it was sounded really good. Like, I don't think I could replicate it right now if I tried, but it was so
I wish you could.
ancient and like tribal and full. There wasn't any shyness in my voice. And I was like, wow. And so again, I like kind of finished it. And then I was like, okay, great, lovely. Going back, it surfaced even bolder that I had to just stop. I put everything away. I was just singing and the animals were around me. And I went outside and I was like, I got it. Yes, I needed to just stop and connect. And for me, it came through voice. And this really, like, it felt like an ancient part of me coming through with some
Yes.
ceremony or something. And so, again, it's like, listen to the moments where your heart is really trying to speak to you, your soul, your energy,
Mm.
and bring you into something different. And I think this summer is a prime opportunity for that, for you to unveil new layers of self. And some of those new layers can come through rollerblading because you allow yourself that joy, you allow yourself that moment. But in that, comes something else. And I
Yes.
think there's so many avenues of what that can look like. So one of them, like Spirit's like, really let your heart lead.
Yes. Yes, because the interconnectedness of like our mission and what we're here to do, whatever, is actually such an interplay of us in our being and us in our heart space and in our full expression of self, right?
Mhm.
Then it makes it a heck of a lot easier to show up for ourselves and for
Yeah.
others in all capacities when we are actually like maneuvering and working within that energy, right?
Yeah.
And
One other,
sometimes it's hard when you take a step back and you're looking at it and you've got like all the stuff, responsibilities and blah, 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 blah.
that's exactly it. The other thing they imparted on me the other day was they were like, you actually, and this was like for me, but this was also collectively. We think even in the spiritual sense, so if we take super spiritual sense of like, I want to know my guides, I want to connect, I want to have a sacred practice, I want to do this. Sometimes we are so busy like producing and creating, we're not being. And that actually can impede our access to higher realms. And so I was, connecting into spirit, but feeling blocked and drained and falling asleep. And they're like, you need to be doing the exact opposite of what you're doing. You actually need to just rest, relax, take it easy on many different things, put stuff down because you're not going to get to where we're trying to show you if you're staying as busy and taxed
Yeah.
as you are. You don't have the energy available for it. And I was like, oh,
Oh,
right,
right. Yeah.
right. So something to
Yeah.
consider.
Rest for sure.
Yeah.
Mine is always joy
Mm.
because I'm like a
Mm.
goofball. I'm a kid at heart. I think that's why I had so many kids and have animals. I just want to play all the time. And I realized that that was actually like a human design that I chose to come in with because my guides are like, you receive the influx of your like spiritual awareness and upgrades in the state of joy. It's like a sponge. You open up and then you're able to receive. When you're constricted and focused and whatever, if I'm not tapped into that creative playfulness and I haven't had that joy around me in enough, and it's all like business and functioning, and it's just not like I give a lot of credit to people who are like that's their thing and they're like great with it. It's not my thing. It's not my thing. But it's sure as heck a lot easier to get all my stuff aligned and ready. It feels easier when I allow myself for more joy and play. That's my like number one thing is joy and
Mhm.
play and
Mhm.
creativity.
Yeah. What's your go-to, Elyse? How do you like get into that besides
Mm.
rollerblading this summer?
Well, yeah, for me, it is, as Libra is my sun sign, it's always about the balance of things. Um, what my default tends to be is doing all the things, being completely overwhelmed, exhausted, not tuned in. I'm like, okay, I'm going to meditate. And then it's like crickets because I'm just like bouncing around
Totally.
in my brain. Yeah, to usually to burn out or some sort of like shut down, and then I have to like pause everything and recalibrate. So for
Mhm.
me it's a perpetual practice of like navigating the two. I see balance as like an action word, not a state, because it's inherently what you're doing is trying to, keep the balance, but that includes bobbling around. um so for me, yeah, it's kind of managing both, and I really try to incorporate that into my days as consistently as I can. That's not always it doesn't always work that way. um so if I have like a really super kind of busy human work day, then the next day I try to keep it a little bit lighter. If I have a day where it's a bit more spaced out, then I'll try to kind of incorporate pieces of that throughout the day and kind of pop back and forth.
Mhm.
Yeah, so for me, it's a perpetual balancing act. And then I like to have, for me, quiet and like spaciousness is really important. So even within like fun and play, my introverted heart loves quiet time. Loves quiet time. I have a very chatty partner. So sometimes he'll be like, la 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 la, and chit chatting away. And then he's like, oh, we're being quiet now. Okay. 'Cause he's like, I can tell when you just don't have the space to say words anymore. And I'm like, yeah, I don't, there's no more words. So just love you,
So
but quiet
funny.
time. So
Well,
yeah,
that's
it's
a good balance in itself, the
yeah,
partnership. Wow,
it
that's
is. Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, it is. So I'm excited to, I have like this deep urge to build a garden bed. Um, so I think it'll be too late to like plant things, but I feel this like, okay, I want to plan everything out and maybe I build them and then I, plant next summer. But yeah, I have this like deep desire for that, which like I am not a plant person. I have the one behind me and one over there, and they have come back from the brink of death many a times. So we'll
Mhm.
see how that goes. But and I want to buy house plants too. Like I have a big plant calling right now. So yeah, for me
Yes.
it's that.
I named my houseplants. We
This
have
one is
ZZ,
Sedgwick.
Chi, and P.
I like naming them too.
Totally. We totally
Sedgwick is
do.
behind me. He's doing well.
So funny.
I can't remember that guy's name.
Yeah.
That's probably why he's not doing
Speaking
well.
speaking of your garden though, even if you plant late, you could do carrots because they'll grow it like even into the beginning of
Oh,
fall.
good call. See, I
Yeah.
don't know any of the garden things.
Super hardy.
It's like a dream.
Yeah.
Good to
Carrot.
know.
Fail
I'll
safe.
report back.
Yes. So, um, do you ladies feel any, I know we talked before that the energy is hard to really like dive into and get like premonitions. Like there's been seasons where it feels like we can get really neat insights of what's come. I know that for me, the energy is a little more challenging this year. That way, anything
Ooh.
stand out for you
Bless
this
you.
summer? Anything you feel coming or insights or like, what does the energy feel for you?
For me, and it's interesting, it's been this way the last couple years. So I'm curious. I This year again, and I have before seen June as a bit of a like black month. And what I mean by that is that it's like they show me a calendar and like June is all like darkened out. Like I can't see much of it. I don't get a whole lot of feelings around what's to come personally or collectively. Like it just feels kind of like a blank slate month or a month where they're like, whoop, that one is just censored out right now and you can, view it later or you have to experience it. So for me, again, I'm feeling this kind of like cloaked, maybe is a better word, energy for June. And it's not a bad thing. It never has been a bad thing. It's
Mhm.
usually in past, it's always been a like, there's a lot to shift and change, and that can be really expensive. Sometimes there's challenges within that, but other times it's like really amazing things that I just would have never thought of. So for me, that's kind of the biggest thing. And that usually ends up, the summer feels pretty vibrant to me, but it's always kind of not depending, what's the word I'm looking for, it shifts based on what comes from June, if that makes
Interesting.
sense.
And June is that 6 month point,
Yeah,
right, in our calendar. So like the midpoint. That's really
that
interesting.
equinox is always,
Solstice.
solstice is always intense for me too, I find.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
usually that's wrapped up in it, but yeah.
Interesting. How about you, Lisa?
I just got this like freedom card. I don't know if it's just me personally, but like we had talked about, it's all about allowing ourselves to receive the light, receive the guidance, and not necessarily reject that the shadow exists. It's just turning around and staying in the light. Like, you can acknowledge that shadow is cast based upon the light that is shone, but it's up to you to depend on which angle you're going to look at. Are you going to turn around and focus on the shadow, or are you going to stand right in the light? And I think that with the increased light of the summertime allows us to really integrate that really high vibrational energy that we can align to and we can connect to, in order to give ourselves that sense of freedom, that sense of like partnership, co-collaborating with the earth, with spirit, in our highest timeline. I think that we have the ability to really link into that, whether it's like like we said, like whether it's a really big thing or whether it's just a day of sitting on your deck and reading a book and drinking an iced coffee, because that's like connecting into your light source. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's like really acknowledging that sense of being every day almost. You know what I mean? And then that is like, that fills the cup.
I agree. It's so interesting because when you were talking, I asked my guides, I'm like, anything you want to share about the summer as well? And they showed me, which is so interesting, and it makes sense now. So there's a couple things. So there is this place that I have often gone to in my astral travels and my visualizations of like when we go to a sacred space, mine is on this beach, but the sky is like lilac purple. And it's on a different planet. It's not here, but it is like warm. It's on a beach. It's kind of like sunset, but the sky is purple. So I call it my purple beach, right? And as a matter of fact, when I tell my NDE story, and they're like, where did you end up? I would have assumed I would have ended up at my purple beach when I crossed over, but I didn't. And so I always laugh about that. But this purple beach is so significant to me because it's like home, is what it feels like. The other night when I was driving to dance, I was driving, sun was setting, and the sky will do like fuchsias and oranges and things as it sets, and it's so beautiful. This particular time, I was looking at the sky and I had this massive heart resonance of like, oh my gosh, I know this sky. I know this sky. And it was just this one section of sky, because over here it was still kind of blue. And it was that home sky. And so Spirit was just saying, they're like, that is the energy available this summer, is that resonance of feeling like going home. And it's a feeling of going home in our hearts. And they were showing me how this summer's energy for many people can be like that of rose quartz. And rose quartz is like this nurturing, motherly, calm energy. And they said that rose quartz represents your own heart space. And so for many people, we have the opportunity to return to that home within us and really feel it. And for me, it was that purple sky, right? Like this tangible thing on this planet where I'm like, oh my God, I get it. But that we really can tap into that no matter what's happening on, the external front, media, politics, wars, there's a sacred space available for us to return to in the heart space this summer, that we can tap into, whatever that looks like. And I think that's encompassed in everything that we're saying here. Like it's all a part of it. But it was just neat for them to bring it through that way. So it's such an opportunity to return home to self.
I love it.
Yeah.
Love that.
Amazing. All right. Well,
have a great summer, everyone.
Yes.
Happy summer.
Enjoy the energies. And, if you are missing out on some Spirit Coffee Talk, we encourage you to also ask your guides to bring you to an episode that will resonate for you. This works so often. I know I do it sometimes with other videos as well. It's like, what do I need to know? And you'll happen upon an episode. So if that happens to you, we would love to know in the comments what you happened upon and why it resonated. And we will be back again in September. So wishing you all a wonderful summer. Thank you so much for all the time that you spend with us. And we'll see you in the fall.